High on a remote hill, looking out over the Atlantic Ocean, there are slabs of granite that once formed a burial chamber. Later, it served as a hangout for fairies, often surrounded by a threatening mist, and almost once became a house for some cows. This is Zena Coit. Away from the famous beaches in the hills of West Cornwall, you can find a myriad of ancient burial chambers. From underground tombs to barrows such as the Ballowwall Barrow near St Just, Cornwall is full of megalithic structures that were used to ceremonially dispose of the bodies of our deceased Neolithic ancestors. One type of burial place are so-called coits, which are common features throughout the landscape. Also known as dolmen, these structures normally consist of 3 or more upright stones with a large capstone on the top. Zena Coit, on the hilltop above the village, has stood here for 3,500 to 4,500 years. The farmland shows evidence of the ancient settlements that may have used the coit for ceremonial burial. The hedges around these fields, which are still farmed today, are older than the Egyptian pyramids and are the oldest human-built structure on the planet that is still in use for their original purpose. This coit is one of 8 remaining in the area. It is a well-preserved example, although at some point over the past 200 years, the giant capstone weighing some 12.5 tons has slipped off. The disposal of deceased persons may have involved much ceremony. It is thought that bodies were rested on the outside of the chamber to have their flesh devoured by birds before being interred within the coit. It's possible the bodies were placed inside only for a period of time before the remains were moved elsewhere. Archaeological digs at the site have uncovered evidence of Neolithic pottery, flint and cremated bones. It has certainly been used as the resting place for a number of ancient deceased people. Such a mysterious structure in a remote, difficult to get to place has naturally inspired many mythical stories. Some people have described the area as being cloaked in a dense, spooky mist, making the coit difficult to find. It is said that people who find themselves enveloped in this mist feel as if they're being grabbed by a presence or creatures unknown. As with many Cornish megaliths, it is believed the area is the home of Cornish piskies or fairies. It is said that if anybody were to attempt to remove the stones from the coit, they would feel the ire of the fairies and the stones would reappear in their original place overnight. This was put to the test in 1861 when a local farmer had the bright idea to use the granite slabs to build a shelter for his cows. Either he hadn't heard that moving the stones could incur the wrath of the fairies, or he didn't believe the tales. And so, the farmer started drilling holes into the huge granite slabs in order to break them apart. Upon hearing this news, Zena villagers alerted the vicar of St Sonara's church, worried about the imminent destruction of the coit and possibly fearing the revenge the fairies might wreak upon the unsuspecting farmer. So the vicar, Reverend Borlase, rushed to the farmer and warned him not to defile the ancient megalith. To sweeten the deal, he paid the farmer 5 shillings to build his cowshed elsewhere. This event remains to this day possibly the only documented inadvertent collaboration between the Church of England and the fairy realm. So if you ever want a peaceful moment away from the tourists, climb the hill to Zena Coit and sit quietly next to these stones. Just make sure to house your cattle elsewhere.